in the pen. Just as quick as they say they love you and they got your back, man, it's the closest ones to you that are always the first ones to stab you. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Savage back with another banger. Thanks for tapping in. Much love, much respect. You know how we do it over on this end. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. If you don't, smash that thumbs down. Do what you feel you need to do. Today we're going to be talking about, let me turn this AC down real quick. Today we're going to be talking about some of the things that people don't really tell you. You know, you see a lot about the culture, you see a lot about the lifestyle, a lot of promotion and glory, especially in the music that we hear today from rappers and local artists, you know what I mean? And that's all fun and dandy, but there's a lot of things they don't tell you about going to jail, going to prison, being involved in that type of lifestyle, what comes with it, what comes with the type of homeboys and the type of loyalty that you guys are gonna have. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, but the downs are a lot more costly than a lot of you seem to know. So we're gonna get into that today. We're gonna be talking about that today. Stay tuned, stay tapped in. So before I get into this, I do want to say that although I respect everybody in their walks of life, I don't necessarily respect those who recruit or think that it's a suitable thing to do to try to get other people to join a gang, join that lifestyle, join into the politics, and do things like that when they've never been in the pen and they've never been in the joint, they've never been in the jail. For the simple fact is, most of you guys don't know nothing about how treacherous politics are. It could be in the smallest, lowest form and smallest caliber. Politics are treachery, right? Backstabbing. You can't really call it betrayal, because when push come to shove, man, you're playing a game where if you mess up, that's on you. You can't be mad at your cellmate when he starts stabbing you up, regardless if you guys are from the same hood, regardless if you grew up together. In the history of these politics, there's been brothers who have had to kill their own brothers for messing up. So let's answer the age-old question. Is there really loyalty in or amongst gang members? Honor amongst thieves, in a sense, right? Is there really honor amongst thieves? Can you have that loyal ride or die connection with other inmates? Of course you can. It's very rare. It's rare that you find, you know, usually it will consist of your car, which is your area, your neighborhood, your city. It'll be dudes who grew up with you, dudes who got your back because you're from the same area. And that's if you're lucky. Because there's a lot of situations in where your own car would throw you under the bus. Your own homeboys would throw you under the bus. See, if me and you come up from the streets, if me and you come up with the same agenda and we push the same thing, we're both working for a reputation. We're both working to become somebody in this field, in this career choice. We're both working and pushing to become someone. So any politics, the grapevine is almost direct and immediate, from the pen to jail to the streets, boom, to the hood. You know what I mean? Just like that. It's like this. Communication is almost instant. It takes one 15-minute phone call that is allowed. You know what I'm saying? A collect phone call to get your info out there, to get your situation, whether or not you're on disregard, whether or not, you know, all bad, basura, for what? You know, it could be any small thing, but you can't be mad at the next person for honoring their career path if you say that this is no longer for me. No longer do I want to pursue this, or hey, it didn't work out for me. So with that being said, why don't you, while you're recruiting people, why not give them the truth and let them know how fragile that line, that balance is that they walk, man? Why don't you let them know? First off, educate them. What's a GP yard? What's a PC yard? What consists of a PC yard? What inmates are in a PC yard? However you want to spin that to them, however you want to tell them. What consists inside of a GP yard, and what are the politics like in a GP yard? Let them know the type of program they can look forward to. Now, just recently getting out of the county jail myself, there was a couple guys who I ran across that were actually recently checking in. It's no secret, it's no hidden thing what side of the fence I'm on. So I'm obviously on the dropout side, just in case I need to clarify for you guys. So when they come, they'd be like, hey, there was one cat who literally checked in, dropped out, and did not want to wear the greens, because the PC wear green in the county jail. And he was like, I'm not wearing greens, la 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 la. Every time he would go to court, he would literally make them go get him oranges, which is GP, in order to go to court. And for some weird reason, like I said, the county jail changed, man. They actually listened to him and did what he wanted them to do. So but I had conversations with him, man, because he still would consider himself to be active, right? So I had conversations with him. He said that he checked in behind some power play, right? he was fighting for some kind of control. A whole long story, whatever the case was. But nonetheless, he was still labeled trash now, right? That's what the label is. You're labeled trash now, bro. So like I told him, I said, listen, man, if you're really active, you would not be in this pod. If you're really active, you would go get it cracking right now. You would go back active. You would go straight. And if the cops are saying, hey, we're not gonna throw you, listen, that's a lie. That's a lie. They would have never checked you in. You didn't get hit. You didn't get moved on. They would have never checked you in, bro. But at the end of the day, what he would tell me about is how the politics were in the GP side right now. And it's a lot different from what he told me. And it's a few people who told me that. And it's a good thing in my opinion. You know, you have the blacks and the Mexicans now who pretty much eat together. They spread together. They play games together. They gamble. They do all kinds of fun stuff together. So the situation already, just knowing that, is not as tense as it was when I was in the gang module back in 08 and 09. Back when things were really hectic, man. Back when it was real, it could kick at any moment. You see a homie fighting any other skin color than yours, everybody jumps, no questions asked. Don't sit there and look. Don't try to get the homie. Just start swinging on the other race. So that's a good thing, man. That automatically takes out a factor of you know, racism and senselessness, which I agree with. So kudos, you know, congratulations for them to being able to put aside some of that foolish stuff. You know, being told, I remember being told we couldn't eat with them. We had to only trade closed items, and we had to go through the white boys to even trade with them. I didn't like that, dude. I like being able to do business with anybody. If I want to eat with anyone, I can eat with anybody, not having to sit at a specific table, blah, blah, blah. So that's good that changed. However, let's keep it 1,000, man. In the pen, things, I don't remember things being like that, and I'm not even sure if it's got to that point yet. So when you school them, make sure you let them know what the situation is. You might have black homies, you might have Asian homies, you might have white homies. But if one of them touches your skin color, it's on and cracking, right? And they may be all for that. But here comes the juicy part. Why don't you tell them that they're going to have to put it all on the line? Why don't you tell them that their family's going to have to come last, their friends are going to have to come last, their children are going to have to come last, everyone that they love, everyone that they know is going to have to come last if they want to make it in this career path. Because the gang has to come first. And when you get to the joint, the gang no longer comes first. The organization that supports your gang has to come first. Why don't you tell them that? Why don't you tell them that if the hand reaches out, taps him on the shoulder and says, hey, you need to go whack this dude, or you need to go stab this guy, or you need to go do this or go do that, it will be expected of them to do that regardless of what their release date is. And if they say, hey, I really want to go home to my son, I go home in 3 months, why don't you let them know that they'll be labeled trash after that? That they'll be labeled and grouped up with chomos, pedophiles, snitches, rats, informants, everything you can think of. Why don't you let them know that? Why don't you let them know that gang banging in the pen is nothing like banging in the streets? Why don't you let them know that banging in the streets and banging in the pen will be the two furthest things, and in some cases they would never be able to imagine what it's like, the difference between them both. Yeah, listen, there's a lot of kids who grow up project babies. There's a lot of kids who grow up, they ain't schooled about the pen, and they're not schooled about jail. They're only schooled about the streets. No one ever thinks they're going to jail. Sometimes they'll learn a little early on when they go to juvenile hall, and they might be some kids from YA in there, and it'll kind of lace them up on a little bit of what they know. But even YA politics ain't nothing like jail and prison. If I would have known from the beginning, if I would have known, I would not have wasted my time. I would not have committed so much energy, so much focus for 1 second. For 1 second. I would have dropped out instantly from the jump. I would have dropped out instantly. Because I don't never like to take orders from another man. I don't never like to take orders. I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like the expectations. And to be honest, when I was in county jail in the gang module, I was the rep. And then when I wasn't the rep, I was the keys. I went up, up, up. I didn't even when you're a rep, you can't even put your hands on nobody. People can't touch you. You can't touch them. You give the orders out. It's just how it goes. So I honestly was not following orders from anybody. The whole time I was in the county jail, it was a cakewalk for me. Technically speaking, I would just say literally, you know, if people really knew the amount of backstabbers that existed, snakes, and how fast you can become labeled trash, so many people would already check in from the jump. Y'all are gonna do what you want, and like I said, I respect how you're gonna do it if you want to do it that way. But be fair, you know what I mean? Be fair to the people you recruit, and maybe you'll have a lot less dropouts, right? If you let people know what to expect, what they can expect, what to be, you know, what they're gonna be involved in, what is actually gonna be required of them, I think you'll come to see that at the end of the day, they'll be able to make a really true, you know, informed decision. Until you are able to do that, until you're able to actually give people that kind of respect, instead of like duloing people and like tricking them into, you know, basically withholding the truth, and then they join, of course you're gonna have a lot of dropouts because people didn't sign up for that. People not signing up for that life. So before, you know, I let you guys go, I just want to say that if you give people more of a informed, you know, plate to eat from, they can make a better decision and an informed decision. Don't mislead and don't withhold info, and there might not be a lot of dropouts, at least not as many as there are today. Let them know the treachery, let them know the betrayal, let them know the snake moves that they'll have to partake in. Let them know about shadow politicking. Let them know what backdoor politics are. Let them know about how many Montezumas there are. You know, too many chiefs, not enough Indians. We all know the same. Let them know about taxes, about paying taxes. Let them know about the consequences for little things. Anything from losing a wheelah to losing a kite to getting caught with the kite to getting caught with some drugs or whatever. Let them know about that, you know. Let them know about everything else. Let them know about how quick. But most importantly, let them know how fine that line is that they walk between being all good and all bad. And let them know that if they're from the hood and they live in the hood and their family's from the hood and their mom lives in the hood, if something happens with them and their name goes all bad, their family that lives in the hood might just have to suffer with them. Seen it happen with my own eyes. Let them know that. Let them know that when they go to the pen, and if they're from the hood, and if they live out there or whatever, or people know where they live or whatever, they're not just, it's not no longer their career, it's them and their family's career. And their family could either be forced to handle them or have their back. I've seen it go both ways as well. I respect everybody, and if you a gang member, I respect you and whatever you're doing. But if you want less dropouts, less people turning or folding or whatever little lingo you guys are using right now, I think it's probably best you let them make an informed decision to join your gang. Let them know. Let them know the treacheries. Because at the end of the day, there is no honor among thieves. There is no loyalty in the pen. Just as quick as they say they love you and they got your back, man, it's the closest ones to you that are always the first ones to stab you. They're standing right next to you, of course. That's why cellmates for so many years, decades, have been the ones manipulated, or should we say asked, to take care of the cellmate that has messed up. You know, whether they've spread together, ate together, you know, grew to have a crazy brotherly bond with each other. It's been for decades. Those are the ones, they kill their cellmates, tie them up, stab them up. Cellmate never sees it coming. Doesn't see it coming. These people are fighting for their own reputation and their own career. Of course they're not going to allow you to compromise that in any form or fashion. It's much love, much respect. Make informed decisions, yo. Listen, gang banging, do what you got to do, man. Just make sure you're making money. Make sure you're making dollars. If you ain't making dollars, you're probably a part of the wrong gang. I'm just saying. Much love, much respect. Deuces.